Jesus Christ.
Welcome back to Pillow Talk.
Welcome
it's been 3 or 4 hours, and he still hasn't gotten this door down.
I still can't fucking... Oh, here. Maybe I have to go through...
Maybe you have to go through that cellar with that nice key.
I'll turn the safety back on, though. Don't want to kill any whoopsies, you know? I mean, have any whoopsies.
Don't want to have any whoopsies? Don't worry, that condom you found in the dirt.
No, that is a... Oh, but that's a whoopsie. That's,
yeah,
a whoopsie waiting to happen. Oh, shit, there's people in here. Oh, am I already doing the dungeon part? This is totally the dungeon part that you get when you...
Oh, when you do the farm thing?
You just get it faster, I guess, for maybe killing him.
There you go. Don't have the key for the portcullis.
Told you we couldn't trust him. Oh, shit, really? I wasn't supposed to go and check it out.
I think you were supposed to give the key back to them.
Oh, fuck. Does he block it? Well, fuck it. Fuck reloading. That ruins games. Oh.
God, he dodged those bitches.
Yeah, he looked at the bullets, too. You saw that.
He went all Matrix on you. He's like, whoa, man.
Whoa, dude.
Wow. Yeah, but look at all that EXP you got. Totes worth it.
That's true. Now can I go through here?
Probably not.
You don't have the fucking key to open the fucking... Wait, hold on. I unlocked a book. Unlocked a book. Found a book.
That means you can level up now, right?
Manuscript. Oh, I can level up. Spiritually an early draft from the midpoint. He's been trying to move for months. Their leader, an nasty fellow by name Ripper. He stormed out a knife fight. Okay.
That was cool.
That was not fun.
It was very cool.
Alright, so speed. No. Ooh, yeah.
That accuracy, man.
Dude, I love guns. Well, I don't really like guns. Okay, to be honest, I really don't like guns in real life. I fucking hate them. We need to adopt Japan's policy on guns. Did you fucking see that? Oh,
what is theirs?
It was on Facebook. I saw it and I read up on it. What they do is they don't have to get a gun. They allow you to only have 2 types of guns. I think a shotgun and another type of gun, but not any assault rifles or automatic weapons.
Okay.
I don't even know if they have handguns, but if you get one, you have to go through 4 rigorous testings. One a written test that's an all-day thing. You have to earn a 97% accuracy rating in a firing thing.
Okay.
You have to do background check, and then there's one other thing. Then you have to do yearly routine inspections. You have to store the stuff separately, the ammo and the gun.
Right. Well, you're technically supposed to do that here too.
But no one gives a shit here.
I know.
And there's some other things I just don't remember in the moment. And their deaths by guns in the country is in the single digits each year.
Yeah, they're definitely small. See, and I think a lot of I my opinion of it would be that in the States, if they just adopted the rigorous courses and training and more in-depth background and mental health checks,
that's what it is. That's what it was.
That would probably solve the problem. I don't think having handguns and assault rifles in general is really the issue. I think it's more making sure that they end up in the hands of responsible people.
And yeah, that's what it was. Sorry to point at you, but you nailed it. I was oh yeah, that's what it is.
Because whenever you hear about some large shooting in the States, it's mental health related almost every time.
And it pisses me off because...
And it's they got it from their family member who legally owned it and just didn't keep good track of it.
And
or keep it locked up.
And then it also pisses me off because then who does it give a bad rep to?
Anybody with bad mental health.
Yes.
And it's no, these people need help, and then you need to make firearms inaccessible to them.
Yeah, and if you see someone that needs help or meet someone with help that's that has a mental issue, you're like fucking crazy. They're nuts,
right?
You know, and it's just like it's not fair to them that you're judging someone based on something that
they have no control over.
Yeah,
like they have to live with that shit every day.
Yeah,
yeah.
It fucking drives me nuts, and it drives me nuts that like, when like the fucking Las Vegas shooting happened. I don't mean to get political on this show at all, but it just happened.
It just happens.
And the amount of people that are just like, we're blaming it on the dude being crazy, not on the guns. And it's just like, they weren't even concerned about like the sheer number of deaths caused by that. It was just the fact that like people were now throwing a fit about people were talking about like we need, you know, stricter gun laws, regulations, and all this shit. And they're like, no. And it's just the fact. It's just like you're only throwing a fit.
There's clearly an issue there
about like you're more concerned about yourself than like this. Was it how many people? Was it like 70 something or?
I think so. Like you're more concerned about how easy it is for you to obtain a gun than it is for like the potential safety of 70 or 100 or 10 people somewhere. Because
they did like in that video I watched, it was like on yearly average it's 33,000 people that die each year in America to guns.
That's a lot higher than I thought it would be.
Dude, that's like 3 times Big Rapids over.
Yeah.
With students.
Yes. Well, with students it's like a time and a half.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's like 20.
Oh,
students.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Has that grown recently or no?
I don't have any. Like, the most recent, like, consensus data that's available online is, like, 2012. And that states, like, the city itself is, like, 10 or 12. And the students about double that.
Why haven't I... Oh, I gotta go to fucking whatever now. This quiz is funny. These two guys here are...
This is the 2 bastards who opened the gate there to hell?
Yeah. I gotta go to... Nope. Not Old Town Road. No, it's Firestone Old Town. Sure. I think Market Road's like the main one that you first come on in order to get to. I think.
We'll find out.
If I remember correctly. And I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, just recently I've just been like more aware of like people and their suffering. And it's like, why would you ignore that?
Because people are generally selfish.
That's true.
And like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but like, it doesn't hurt to like think about the general well-being.
Uh-huh.
And like, I've noticed, oh man, we're gonna get super political. I've noticed that in general, like when it comes to people talking about taxing richer people more heavily or looking at a basic income, like everybody screams, oh, you're stealing from the rich.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, even people who are like low income and on assisted like income are like, oh, you're stealing from the rich. And it's like, okay, yes, but we're not just, you know, individuals here. You're trying to build like a country and a community, and, like a city, and it's like, sure, you can live entirely for yourself, but if you want like humanity in general to like survive and flourish and prosper and like develop, like it helps to create that society and support that society in whatever way it happens to be, and money gets you there.
And that's what, and you hear that a lot more here in a small town like this, especially in like, it's in one, you know, we're in like one of the more poorer parts.
Yeah, we're in a fairly poor part.
And like the only way they have like this shit going on, see, I already got my posse.
Yeah, you do.
That's following me around. It gets worse. Is with like that impoverished area comes like lack of education due to like a poor education.
Right.
And this is okay. Now this is gonna get super political.
I told you.
But I'm like following through like my sign on my desk over there. You can't really see it behind Katie's picture.
Oh.
Because she threw a fit about how I had a picture of Katie Malenko and not her on my desk. And so like I took a racism in film class, and we were discussing. This is when like my whole view on life started to change. Was this class? It was not just racism. It was like, you know, gender issues and stuff.
Kind of covered the whole spectrum.
And one of them was obviously covering like the civil rights movement and all that shit. And one of the things was like the lack of education and how it impacts like a whole people. And like I think about this every time I hang out with, you know, a black person or anyone else who's like impoverished or like a minority in this country, because like you fucking I have to kill 100 of these, and this is like really hard to fucking you kill don't kill, you don't kill people, don't do that.
Bad.
You take education away or don't supply the needs to a proper education, you fucking hinder that person and their upbringing so much. They don't have an education, they can't get a job. So if they can't get a job and they don't have money when they grow up and you know get fucking kids or a family, they go on like what, welfare? They rely on welfare.
Right, they don't have the means to support them, and
then
a lot of times you also end up with people who don't understand quite, I guess, like the impact of like birth control or even that, so they end up with more kids.
Yeah, because they don't come across that.
It's never taught to them, and so they just don't know. Or
and then they're just like, it's just a cycle of like this toxic mistreatment and fucking like it's not, I don't know if it would fall under like the drug wars, but like when marijuana became like a whole like cop out for like this is like a dangerous drug thing.
Right.
And I don't know when it was.
I don't know.
It was like an excuse my teacher worded it as like to start the genocide of a people again, like, cause I mean that's like kind of harsh to say, but when that happened, like black imprisonment went up like tenfold because cops were like, oh, this fucking like, you know, driving while black, this black kid's smoking something, you know, if he's smoking something, you know, it's obviously marijuana. And it's just and then also if I don't know if you've noticed this, and I'll stop talking about this after I say
this
this
episode.
Like the way members of another race address you as a white guy. I don't know if you've noticed this in like dealing with like the public, they're always very formal and very polite.
Usually, yes.
Like they always like address me as sir.
Yep.
They always look me in the eye. They're always like straight. They're always observant. They're always like attending and like being aware of me. They give a shit, like they were taught to, because
right, it's not like a like kind of a chill, relaxed engagement.
Because if like and some of it, I don't know if all of it is just like their parents are being polite, but like I mean some like parents who lived through like that civil rights era where like racism was very prevalent.
That's what you did.
And shit is like you had to do that or else you could get arrested for like just looking at some white dude or like a white lady wrong, and then they had to pass it down to their kid, and then they're like, you know, you gotta do this in order to fucking just stay chill. But okay, I'm done with that now.
All right, next time on Pillow Talk, we will not talk about any political issues.
Yep, and this chicken is going to be eaten.
We're going to have to change the name Pillow to Political Talk.
It just happened with guns. It fucking happened with guns.